Hello and welcome back. Right now, we have clear understanding about Docker, but we need to understand some of the characteristics related to the Docker as well. In this video, you are going to understand all the terminologies related to the Docker, and this particular picture is actually playing important role to understand all these characteristics. So let's start with our first terminology of the Docker. We call it Docker host. As you know that if you want to create container, you have to install Docker daemon. Now, the machine in which we are installing Docker daemon, we call it Docker host. So, a Docker host is a physical computer system or virtual machine running host OS. Host OS can be Windows, Linux or Mac. This can be your laptop, server, virtual machine in your data center or compute resources provided by the cloud providers like Amazon EC2 instance, Azure virtual machine or Google Cloud Platform virtual machine. So it can be a physical machine or it can be a virtual machine in which you are installing Docker daemon. It is called Docker host. The second concept we have is Docker engine or Docker daemon. Now how you can convert your normal system into the Docker host. Let's say that I have my computer, this computer I have, it is Windows machine. How I can convert this machine into the Docker host? Simple, I have to go to the Docker website, I have to download Docker engine setup, and then by installing Docker engine, I can say that now it is Docker host. Okay, and we have Docker engine or Docker daemon available for Linux, Windows and Mac. A server which is type of long running program called Docker daemon process. A REST API which specifies interface that program can use to talk to the daemon and instruct it what to do. So once you install Docker daemon using REST API, you can interact with this particular program and you can create and manage your container. But how we are going to manage our container? We are going to manage this using Docker client. Okay. So Docker client is command line utility. It is a CLI command line utility, and using this we can interact with the Docker daemon. Now the good news is Docker CLI is same across any platform. Let's say that if you are using Linux system and you have Docker daemon configured over there, you have Linux Docker host, you can use same CLI in the Windows, Linux and Mac OS. So Docker CLI is same across any platform. Now Docker registries. Docker registries store the Docker images. There are two types of registries, public and private. Let's say that I want to create Linux container. I want to create Ubuntu container. What are the steps? First of all, we need to have one Linux, we need to have Docker host in which we have Docker daemon installed. Then we need Ubuntu images. So from where we are going to get these images? We are getting images from the Docker registries. If you go to the Docker website for the registry, we call it hub.docker.com. Now, when you go to hub.docker.com, here, whatever the images we have, it is public image. By default, your Docker host is going to download images from the public Docker registry. We call it hub.docker.com. Docker Hub is a public registry that anyone can use, and it is default. Now, you can also build your own image. It is for your enterprise requirement only. So in this case, you can use private repo or a private registry. It is for enterprise user and limited use of your own enterprise. So, when you have your own private registry, you can do this by clicking on sign up button over here. It is not free, but whatever the images that you are storing inside private registry, it is only shared by your enterprise or your engineers with whom you want to share. It is limited to your enterprise only. Okay. By default, we will use public step by step, or when it is required, we will also go for the private, because when you are going to use private repo or a private registry, it is not free. Now, the final part of our Docker characteristics is Docker images versus Docker container. I want you to understand images first, then I am going to explain you about container. Images. Images is read-only template with instruction for creating Docker container. Whenever you want to create container, you have to have images. Based on image, you can create your container. As you know that there are some images that we can download from here. If I'm going to talk about same example, like if I want to create Ubuntu, okay, I can find out Ubuntu image from here. Okay, so image is required in order to create container. Often an image is based on another image with some additional customization. Right now, on the first step, we are going to use this particular public image. Then in the next step, I will tell you how you are going to set up your own image. This image is always created from the specific base image, and then we are going to set up some customization option as well. So image is based on another image when you are going to create your own image for a specific requirement. You might create your own image, or you might only use those created by others and published in the registry. So here we have this particular image published by someone that we are going to use, or we can also create our own image. How to create this? We will also discuss about it in upcoming days. To build your own image, you can create Docker file with the simple syntax or defining the step needed to create image and run it. How we are going to use our Docker container in the real world environment. If you want to use your container in the real world environment, you have to create your own image, and in order to create your own image, you have to learn how we can create Docker file. So step by step, you will get complete idea about this as well. But you need to remember that when we need to create any container, the first requirement is to have image. You can build your own image, or you can download image from the public registry as well. Now let's talk about container. A container is runnable instance of an image. You cannot stop image. Image don't have public IP, or image is not runnable. From image we are creating container. We can start container, we can stop container, container having IP address, container having service over there which is running inside the container. So container is what we call it runnable image. You can create start, stop, move and delete container using Docker API or command line interface. You can connect the container to one or more network, attach storage to it, or even create new image based on the current state. By default, container is relatively well isolated from other container and its host machine. So from the image we are creating containers. Now let me tell you, let's say that I have my team. There is a coder team, there is a testing team. Now coder team wants to send a container to the tester team. How they are going to send this? They are going to convert container into the image. Then they are going to send image from coder team to the testing team. Now testing team will get image, and then from this image they can build their own container. So if you want to transfer image from one Docker host to another, you can do this, but by default we cannot transfer container. Yes, we can transfer this, but on a basic level we cannot do this. Yes, if we are going to use some tools like Docker Swarm and Kubernetes, then we can also migrate this. But for basic understanding, you can say that if you want to transfer container from one Docker host to another, what you can do, convert your container into the image, then transfer this image to the another host, and then from this host you can create container. Okay, so this is like a basics. that you need to understand. And if you look at over here, this is our Docker host. This is container. We are creating this container from the images. These are Docker CLI commands, and this is registry from where we are actually storing our container images. So this is all about Docker characteristics. We are going for the practical very soon. Thank you very much. See you in the next video. Have a nice day. Goodbye.